Side of the road, rain keeps coming. Everything works, she just ain't running. We're begging and pleading, it never seems to work overtime. Well, I've been mistook, I've been mistaken. I laid on the gas when I should have been braking. You'd think that I know this old road, but I can't read the signs. And the weird old world, it just keeps spinning around. Well, on the TV news, the end of the day, I watch them throw a load of dice in these games that they play, and they're saying that 5 and 2 somehow add up to 9. They're cheating to win, showing no mercy. I watch it roll down the chins while others go thirsty, thinking, Lord, if you can hear me, I hope that you wake up in time. And the weird old world, it just keeps spinning around. Say that you're scared, you're tired of hiding, you're getting drowned out by this wave we've been riding, where you're running for cover, but the trees just get further away. Sleep with the dogs, sing to the stars. You get there, you'll find out it wasn't too far. Memories linger, tomorrow turns into today. And the weird old world, it just keeps spinning around. All right. Thanks, folks. My name is Chris Buhalis, and I am more than a little bit thrilled to be standing before you in the Ark in Ann Arbor, Michigan. It's my good friend, Mr. Dave Keeney, over here. He's wearing a mask for no particular reason. But this is the closest thing to normal that I've done in about 8 months, so I'm feeling pretty blessed today. I hope you guys are all doing well out there. Hope you're staying safe. The Ark is an amazing place in my life. I first came to this place when I was 19 years old. I came here to see Taj Mahal one time. I was in a different building, but it's the same place. And it's a big reason why I stayed in this town. And I feel very fortunate. This is a little weird, singing in a, well, I mean, it's not as weird for me as it will be for some performers. I'm no complete stranger to empty rooms. But really excited to play some music with my buddy Dave Keeney here. So, if you can tear yourself away from your Netflix, we got some tunes for you. This song was written years ago. It came out on my 2016 album, which is named after this song. So just in case you're keeping score at home and you're thinking that maybe This song's about your favorite game show host turned leader of the free world. It's not. Well, I come from a big car town. We shine 'em up, drive 'em all around. Believer goes out, comes back around, and that Jesus saves. But Gordy Howe puts in the rebound. Man, everybody told me since I was just a kid, get it straight, boy, you get it through your head. Life ain't roses, there'll be trouble up ahead. So keep your eyes wide, that's the way it is. We walked to school, sometimes we'd even run. Teacher told me how the West was won. We shot 'em dead before they knew that it'd begun. And it seemed to me that Custer had it coming. Still all my textbooks talked about destiny. Civilized the savages to set the souls free. Meantime, stealing everything that they could see. That's the way it is in ancient history. Factory time, our song rolling never ending down the line. Now watch the faces when the whistle whine, and I told myself that it don't whine for me. But it did, it does, and much became plain. I see my people that's standing in the rain. For bread or punch clock, it's all about the same. Cause the way it is doesn't feel no shame. Man on the TV says he won by vote. If truth was singing, bet he couldn't hold a note. He's got a smile like there's a gun beneath his coat, and he belches lies and doesn't say excuse me. Man, I wonder how he stands there deaf to all the cries. He's mugging for the cameras, dollar signs in both his eyes. I see through him in his cheap disguise. Cause friends, the way it is, don't take alibis. I come from a big car town. We shine 'em up, drive 'em all around. Believer goes out, comes back around, and that Jesus saves. But Gordy Howe puts in a rebound. There you go, big car town, folks. I grew up in Detroit, in the Detroit area. People shine their cars up every Saturday. I don't know if they still do it. I suspect they do. I do want to say that, all this crazy shenanigans going on in our election world, if you're in an election and let's say you lose by 7 million votes and you still are insistent that you're going to make a spectacle fool of yourself, if you believe your path to victory somehow involves bullying the people of Detroit, Michigan, you need a new plan. You need a new plan. All right. Well, I know some of you are probably scared witless right now because this may be the first time that Dave and I have appeared in your living room. That could scare could scare just about anybody, quite honestly. Like this year hasn't been hard enough on you, I know. It's all right. This is pretty exciting watching a guy tune his guitar on TV, isn't it?
I'm telling you.
I did my first CD release show at the Ark in 1998. I've been playing this stage for 25 years, and it's a thrill every time. And I won't be able to put it into words, so I'll shut up now. This song's off my first record. I wrote this for my friends. I've been, as this whole being locked at home thing plays out, I find myself reminiscing and lamenting, remembering what it's like to be hanging out with my friends, and I look through old photos and see us all hanging on each other, and can't wait to get back there. But I wrote this one a long time ago for some friends up in Alaska. I'd like to sing it for you. This is called Kenai Dreams. Been singing mostly sad songs, and everybody's voice but my own. Wheels are spinning, but it won't be too long. Like a thin white cloud of wisp, and man, I'm gone. Been thinking salmon sunlit mornings, chopping wood and singing in the pine. Had an inkling, must have been a warning. If you run too hard, you soon get left behind. There I did not feel like leaving. The songs like oceans, deep and blue. I dream I'm under northern stars, sitting pick here on my guitar, and then I will sing them for you. Wait, yesterday drags down tomorrow. There comes a time to cut that weight away. Let it drag you down through endless pits of sorrow, never again to see the light of day. There I did not feel like leaving. The songs like oceans, deep and blue. I dream I'm under northern stars. I sit and pick here on my guitar, and I will sing them for you. Well, catch me in Kenai to Joe's. We'll go find a song on that jukebox bowl of his nose, and I will sing them with you. Kenai Dreams. I had the good fortune of, that's the first song that I ever went into a professional recording studio of my own, or my own song. Took it in there and got to play on it. And I had my good friend Jeff Plankenhorn in there with me. And on that song, one of the blessings of having the Ark in your town is when people that you like, when songwriters that you admire or songwriters whose songs you love come up, they all come to the Ark. So in 1995 or so, I met Towns Van Zandt up here, and we became friends, and he came and sang on that song, which, some people look at as less than a coup, booking coup than others, but it was a real honor for me, and I just love this place. I'm thrilled to be here. Sorry I'm going on about it. I haven't really been out of my house for about 8 months. The only people more excited about me being here tonight are my wife and daughter. I think that's a true statement.
What you got, Chris?
We're going to do, let's get one of these. This is a thing that I just put together. It's not, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a song. It's going to grow into a song. But I need to sing it because it's, I just feel like we're all just kind of in this holding pattern. So you're lying in bed, drowning in dread from some headline you read on your phone. Look around, take heart, and know, my friend, you are not alone. So you had big plans, that vacation in Cannes, but you wound up in the twilight zone. Just hold tight, take hold, and remember, friends, you are not alone. Well, I believe that time will show that no matter how far you roam, if you can hear my voice, then you are my friend. You are not alone. Say the world is your oyster, but the sell-by date is long gone and flown. Look around, there's other things to eat. You are not alone. Well, you're being safe, taking care. Oh, you're burying your head in the lawn. I hope that you will remember, my friend, you are not alone. Here I believe, I'll sure that no matter where you call home, if you can hear my voice, then you are my friend. You are not alone. Come on. Scurrilous little turds that's been hanging in the shadow of the throne. Will they make you take that perp walk to jail? May you not be alone. Yeah, I believe, well, hell, I know, no matter where you call home, you can hear my voice. You are my friend. Alone. And friends, living at the corner of Delinquent and Long. One fine day we will hug again and plant all kisses blown. One fine day we will hug again and plant all kisses blown. There you go. That's what they call, you know, some people, there's a fine line between fearless and foolish, folks, and but I find less and less people in America can spell, so it doesn't really matter. Do we have any questions so far? That was a fairly new composition. Composition's a kind of a strong terminology on that one. It's a series of words with some melodic things in the back. But I have
It's the first time I heard it.
well, you know. We've all had our plans changed this year.
Oh, man. Tell it, Chris.
But I have been thinking about my friends a lot. One person I thought of the other day, I wrote this song for her, and I wanted to play it for you as a result. My friend Mary Reed, she lived in this town for a very long time. She's been gone for 20 years or so, but she was a really amazing lady. She's one of the most fearless people I ever met in my life. And I wrote this song for her. This is a waltz. I was really excited about 25 years ago, I guess. I was playing a gig in Chicago, and someone came up to me after the show, and they said, they were complimentary, and they said they enjoyed it, and said, I really enjoyed that waltz that you wrote for your friend. And I was really touched by that, and it meant a lot to me. Well, because it's nice to hear compliments, but also I was completely unaware that I had written a waltz. And it turns out this is a waltz, so if you're at home and you were hoping to waltz, your window of opportunity has arrived. Don't worry about the neighbors, they ain't looking anywhere. This is Mary's song. Mary, she lives on the outskirts of town. The same yard for 24 years. There's a garden out back of her tired old shack. It's a garden weeded of fear. Mary, she works in the cafe uptown, and almost every day. Yeah, she's old and she's thin when I go in. She's always got something to say. She says, my sweet thing's in the desert now, and I don't even cry. Well, I'm alright, but sometimes at night I feel like I could die, only every once in a while. $5 loans. Allow me to live pretty free, but still nothing compares to the feelings we share. The way that he looked at me, the sweet things in the desert now, and I don't even cry. Well, I'm alright, but sometimes at night I feel like I could die, only every once in a while. Give from your heart and live right from the start. Do like you'd have them do unto you. 'Cause one day mama, well, she's gotta go, and daddy, he's gotta go too. My sweet things in the desert now, and I don't even cry. Well, I'm alright, but sometimes at night I feel like I could die, only every once in a while. Well, Mary, she worked in a cafe uptown. She had the same yard for 24 years. There's a garden out back of her title shack. It was a garden weeded of fear. A garden weeded of fear. Stick with your friends, folks. They're the best thing you got. All right, Keeney, we're going to kick it into a different gear here.
Clutch it.
That's the idea, anyway.
Double clutch it.
But I mentioned I come from Detroit. Now, Detroit not only has been the arsenal of democracy, not just during World War II, but also in the last 4 weeks. But it has another great moment in our history, that during Prohibition times, 75% of the alcohol that came into our country from outside the borders of our country came through the city of Detroit. Due to its proximity to Canada, our Canadian neighbors, who are always smart people. I mean, they're smart enough to close the border. You can't argue with sound reasoning like that. But back then, when the Volstead Act went into effect in the United States, making it illegal to distill alcohol or to sell it, it was also illegal to sell and distill alcohol in Canada. But after we got Prohibition, Canada had the wise sense to make it legal to distill alcohol. You just couldn't sell it. So if you've ever been to Windsor, Ontario, and see the Hiram Walker plant there, there's about, I used to count them when I was a kid, there's like 50 warehouses that look like football fields. That's because when Prohibition was going on, they would fill those bad boys up, and everyone would come from Michigan and load their cars and drive back. And being a songwriter, I was reading this book about the different ways that they got the booze from point A to point B. And they had pulleys that went under the river. They had all these different schemes. But the one that really piqued my interest were these guys that would take old Model Ts and wait till the lake froze over and drive across. That's just kind of... And they were just regular folks, in the beginning. Because if you can imagine, folks, times were so hard, jobs were so scarce that people were doing whatever they could to scrape by. You know, ancient history. This goes out to all the bootleggers out there. You know who you are, so I won't bring it up. You don't have to raise your hand. This song and the cars that the men drove are both known as Whiskey Six. Got the doors pulled off, border out for speed. 4 inches of ice and a starless night, they're all I need. When 3 lights flash from the other side, that's my cue to ride. I light a smoke, I put her into gear. Braving death and cold, 'cause friends, there ain't no work around here. Well, I met Ray at the Lantern late one night. We decided to set things right. If you see me tonight in my Whiskey Six, you'd best steer clear as I'm coming throttle wide. And it's 4 below, 40 cases in tow. I can't stop till I reach the other side. I said Joe sent me to the eyes behind the door. We walked inside, really at the school. You get to Walkerville, you load it up and then you bring it back again. Our first wet run, we ended up near Leamington. He said watch for purples, black ice means just starting to swim. Well, when she howled, that old ice she cracked and moaned. That engine drone. And if you see me tonight in my Whiskey Six, you best steer clear as I'm coming throttle wide. And it's 4 below, 40 cases in tow. And I can't stop till I reach the other side. Down, 3 long years behind the padlock doors of old man Ford's assembly line. Across frozen waves, my Whiskey Six and I will make sure your town ain't dry. If you see me tonight in my Whiskey Six, you'd best steer clear as I'm coming throttle wide. Cases in tow, and I can't stop till I reach the other side. It's Mr. Dave Keeney on the guitar right there. They're going crazy at home, Dave. I know they are. This is such a treat. I can't even, I know I keep talking about it. This is a little surreal. I haven't sung into a microphone in 8 months. I don't know if I've been able to say that since I was in my 20s. Young man. I used to be a younger man, Dave.
Well, you're doing a pretty good job, Chris. It sounds good. Keep it up.
Yeah, it's been kind of crazy. I'm pretty. Dave and I were going to do this reality TV show right before the pandemic hit. We got invited, but then we decided, it just seemed like a dead end. Like no one's ever been on a reality TV show and then gone on to do anything else in their life of note. So we decided not to take that gig, which was kind of dumb looking back. But I'm feeling pretty hopeful because I got a new man. I just hired Rudy Giuliani as my manager. He says he's going to make me a star, so we're going to court tomorrow.
Sounds like a foolproof plan. Yeah. Foolproof.
Well, actually, I have a Rudy Giuliani joke, but never mind. It's really lost its appeal. We'll, yeah, this is good stuff. I know. That's why I sing. Don't talk too much. If I had one, I'm gonna call an audible, though, I think, Dave. I actually wrote down a list of songs here today.
Something to deviate from.
Pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Key and a clue.
Let's do this one about this song. My friend Johnny Williams is up north. I know watching. He's pretty close to these, and my friend Chad. My friend Chad Pastelnik's a great artist who did the CD cover. I can show you. It's Christmas time. I won't be doing a whole lot, but I just want to show you this artwork. My friend Chad did these on his printing press. He's a world-renowned bookmaker, and he's just an amazing artist. And this is original artwork that he did for my last record. And even before he did that, it was great knowing him because 20 years ago he introduced me to some trees that are good friends of mine. And if you've never been to Michigan, or northern Michigan in particular, you may not know that Michigan is covered in trees. And you also may not know that this entire state was covered in trees all the way from Detroit all the way up to the top of the Upper Peninsula. And that during logging times, they milled 100 times more gold in trees than they ever found in gold in California during the gold rush boom where all those movies and all that stuff are made of. But this song is about some trees and it's about so much because, folks, everything we have is temporary. And Michigan here, they've taken all the copper. They cut down all the trees and built the Midwest. And now they're coming for our water because we do have 20% of the world's surface fresh water. Anyway, I want to sing this song. It's called The Virgins. The whole world's gone green. Guess I stared at the fire too long. With these things I've seen, they make me wish that I was blind. But I see that you can't ever right some wrongs. But that don't mean there ain't no use in trying. I left Calumet, scarred by the Copper King. I kept having dreams of being buried in the mines. I took a job filling trees with the Johnston Company, and I hopped a train on that Copper River line. Well, tonight I'm running with the virgins on my mind. They built of Chicago and all that you can see. The company gains and all that remains. These two old virgins, this river and me. It took 4 days riding through the Northwoods rain. They said there's green gold for all eternity. 4 short years, all them Johnston boys and me, we cut them down, leaving nothing for the breeze. Well, tonight I'm running with the virgins on my mind. They come from Ludington and Manistee. The company gains and all that remains. There's 2 old virgins, this river and me. One summer day was the year Charlie Williams died. 4 men called down, he said, tomorrow boys we ride. I looked up at the last 2 trees, just between you and me. I fell to my knees, and for my sins I cried. Tonight I'm running with the virgins on my mind. They fueled the flames that forged the Model T. And the company gains and all that remains is 2 old virgins, this river and me. Well, now the embers glow and the smoke's on the rise. They say in Detroit I could get $5 a day. Guess it's factories and cars, or the virgins and the stars. As those pine cones fall, I know I'm gonna stay. Yeah, tonight I'm lying with the virgins on my mind. They come from Grand Marais and Menominee. And the company gains and all that remains. 2 old virgins, this river and me. 2 old virgins, this river and me. Nice, Keeney.
Chris Buhalis.
I didn't mean to sound so surprised. That was nice, but that was really nice. This is the trouble with playing live with people like Dave Keeney, folks, is that sometimes you start listening to what they're doing, and you can kind of forget that you were supposed to sing stuff in there. It happens. It's happened to nicer people. All right, I know what we'll do. I'm not going to look at that list anymore. It's just confusing me. All right, we are in the middle of troubled times, you may have heard. We are not the first people to have lived through troubled times. Now, I want to send this song out. Well, I want to sing it out to my pop because I wrote this for my dad, kind of. It's not like he needed me to write him a song. But I also want to dedicate it, we've got some pretty interesting people in our government these days, temporarily. So I want to send this out to anybody out there who might be listening or watching this on your home hi-fi system there that maybe you read all Ayn Rand's book through Cliff Notes and did not immediately run for state legislature. I want to thank you from the very bottom of my heart. You mean so much to me. This song I wrote, and I didn't think I was going to record it. I did record it, and I thought it was too personal to play in places, and I've played this song in Texas, Italy, and everywhere I come up people come up, and everywhere I've played it, people have come up to me and told me stories about working people who they know. And I just want to take this one moment here and just thank everybody in the health industry, everybody who's in the food industry, and all the people working at the grocery stores and the hardware stores that are keeping our country moving through this while our federal government is like an anchor being that they're dragging around. Because working people are the only people who get things done in this world, folks. If you've ever been in a building, you've benefited from the work of working people. So I want to send this out to all the working people out there. I love you, and we're going to get through this because that's what we do. My daddy worked high steel with the wind, the wild, and the climb. He's got red wing boots, his jeans tucked in, a worker on a picket line. When the work bell rang, he answered every time. My daddy worked the high steel, his daddy worked the line. He said he was a greaser, jamming Jerry Lee in his 55. The war had been won, he was an only son, the whole world felt so alive. Met the girl that he'd marry at the grill by the Diamond Five, and he got a union card. He had a car to drive. Now I learned from him that working ain't no sin, 'cause working people built your town, whatever town you're in. And they lost their hearing to the clanging beams or that shrieking shop floor wine. My daddy worked the high steel, his daddy worked the line. Times get tough, oh, as times will do. Like a Bob Gibson fastball riding up and in to make it 2-2. He always digs back in, 'cause that's all there is to do. And he'd stand for me, he'd do the same for you. So you can quote Ayn Rand, or promise that you'll take us back in time. So you could open up a factory turning Bible quotes into campaign lines. But mister, if you're wondering why I don't believe you when your line, my daddy worked the high steel, his daddy worked the line. And on it goes, and everybody knows the working people built this land. It didn't sprout from a pot of gold. So hey, toupee, Dorian Gray, just quit your endless crying. Daddy worked the high steel, his daddy worked the line. Smart, but I'll tell you what I know. If you ever try and tell my old man what to do, he's gonna tell you where to go. With love in his heart, steel in his spine. My daddy worked the high steel, his daddy worked the line. My daddy worked the high steel, his daddy worked the line. Keeney. Daddy worked the high steel. That was on my 2016 record, Big Car Town, which won a Grammy. I won Grammy for the best album of the year for that one. There was some discrepancy in the voting. They claimed someone else won. I never conceded, ever, and I never will. So I'm going to start putting Grammy Award winner in my press pack, because folks, alt truth is, it's a whole new world out here, and I'm not saying that just because I'm 7'3". I really mean it.
Man, this is fun, Chris.
Cheer up, Keeney. It'll be all right.
It's nice to be out of the house.
All right, this is it's been kind of weird. I thought, you'd think sitting at home I'd be writing millions of songs. It's been really hard, and I'm just starting to really hit a stride where I'm feeling like every song isn't going to be wishing harm to somebody in a position of power.
The coup record.
Traffic's gone, but the road ain't changed. All the orange and red bleeding out of green as the seasons rearrange. I got a lake wind howl, and these rattling bones, like an old photo's eyes that can't disguise, they don't want to be alone. Never want to be alone. These eyes were young, they had no plan. No bets were hedged down by the river's edge when you took me by the hand. As the storm winds glow, dream seeds sown. As I breeze through the tunnel of the trees, I feel like I'm headed home. We're all headed home. Late nights, false dawns, stage lights, long gone. Wake up in the morning singing some forgotten song, and I'm falling, and I'm falling, but I ain't gone. Sing you a song, knock on wood, a song to set your heart to spin and show your love's gonna win like you always hoped it would. But if I fail, or should I fly too soon, you can meet my soul on a midnight stroll. Late nights, false dawns, stage lights, long gone. It's the middle of the night, I wake up singing some long forgotten song, and I'm falling, and I'm falling, but I ain't gone. Hope you guys are being good to each other out there. I appreciate y'all wearing your masks because, there's nothing worse than stupid people in the middle of a pandemic, I have to tell you, in my own experience. I mean, no offense to anybody who, I don't really care.
You gotta
I'm going to do this song here. This is the only song I ever wrote in an airplane. Well, frankly, if you knew what folk singers make, you'd be surprised I was ever in an airplane. But this song really hits me these days. I wrote this before I had a kid, before I was married, before I really had much of an idea of what I was actually writing about, honestly. Actually, I wrote this song after leaving Guy Clark's house. I've been really lucky to get to meet some of my favorite songwriters and spend some time with them. And up here at the Ark, I ran into Townes Van Zandt, and we became friends, as I told you, and I treasure that relationship, but I only knew Townes for a couple years before he died. But through Townes, I met Guy Clark, and I got to know Guy for over 20 years before he passed. He's one of the finest songwriters this country's ever produced. But more than that, he was a kind human being in a very gruff, honest kind of way, which I admire because I'm from Detroit, and I know that Detroit and Texas are two places that I know of. You know that old saying where they say it's easier to ask forgiveness than it is permission? Well, Detroit and Texas are two places that I know of where we know it's easier to ask for neither. We don't need permission. So I felt very blessed when I flew down to Townes' funeral in Nashville with my friend Hobart Taylor. And afterwards, Guy invited us over to his house, to his and Susanna's house for an after party there. And it was a very human event, and I just I wrote this song that night on the way home on the plane. Anyway, this is for all our friends who are not with us anymore, and it struck me at Townes' funeral when I saw his daughter, just how things go on with our kids, because you can just see people and their kids sometimes. And I know there's a lot of empty chairs out there these days for dinner in our country. And I want to think the best of it. This is called Small Disguise. My sister came and saw me play one time. I said, "What'd you think?" She said, "That was pretty good, but you shouldn't talk in between songs, just sing." She's not here tonight, folks. Not a glance of sunshine, no dancers in the rain. The shadow still remains long and tall, dark but where the light does shine. Now my thoughts are pacing across the floorboards of my mind, racing all the time, 'cause time won't try. Just puts his head down and plugs along. Bits and pieces that my mind hurls towards my eyes make me look away. And in the clouds of coming days, I sense something left to say. Club cars, steel guitars, and the whirring of the wheels. Street beneath my heels, just a memory. Second chances slipped away. You're always on the dark train, never knowing when. To hell and back just to tell where you'd been. Man, you didn't have to ride that way. in the end, an angel steps out from behind with the knowing in her eyes. As I gaze at her, I see you in small disguise. Last night I thought I saw you swimming in a dream, in a pool of kerosene neath lightning skies. You smoking Lucky Strikes and drinking wine, singing songs note by note up towards the sky, just to catch them as they fall. In the rhythm of their rain, I hear footsteps yet to fall. In the rhythm of their rain, footsteps yet to fall. Thanks a lot, folks. I got a couple more songs for you here. So very thrilled to be able to be just in this room and singing some songs, and I hope you guys are enjoying it even half as much as I am. And I want to thank the Ark and Joe and Drake, and my friend Doug's here taking photos. He took the photos from my very first album cover. Except I haven't told him yet. I got it reprinted and I changed the cover. It's kind of awkward, Doug, I got to tell you, doing this right here. But we're going to tune this. We are in a rough point in our nation. I know it turns out that electing the smallest minded, biggest ego people in the world is not a good thing generally for the common people. It just works out. I don't know if you've been keeping score at home. But I find myself hearkening back to a time we've lost so much respect in the world. People are so worried about us. My friends in Italy, they call me and they like, man, what are you guys doing over there? Why don't people wear masks? I don't have a good answer. But I do know that my family and probably your family are here for a reason. And I want to play you a Guy Clark song that I think is really, really important these days because I think it really hits centrally to what we are as a country and what we're supposed to be. This place, the United States of America, for generations was a place where people brought their families here to make a better life because the places where they lived were not capable of providing that. And I think we've lost our way on that when we got kids in cages and we've got... when people are willing to carry their children on their backs through war zones and they can get up to our fence, we're supposed to be the country that invites in the poor, huddled masses. So I want to sing this Guy Clark song. I can't think of a more beautiful song off the top of my head. And the day I write one that's even close to as good as this one, trying to get this feeling across, I'll sing that to you as well. But we got to get back to it. This is our story. like a scene from a costume ball, decked out in the colors of Europe and on fire with the hope of it all. There my father's own father stood huddled with the hungry and tired and scared. Turn of the century pilgrims, bound by the dream that they shared. They were standing in lines just like cattle. They were poked, sorted, and shoved. Some are one desk away from sweet freedom, and others torn from the ones that they love. Through this swarming tower of Babel came a young man confused and alone, determined and bound for America, carrying everything that he owned. Well, sometimes when I look in my grandfather's immigrant eyes, I see that they reflected. I can't hold my feelings inside. And I see starting with nothing and working hard all of his life. Don't take it for granted, say grandfather's immigrant eye. He'd smile, stare out the window, but his eyes, they were still just as clear as the day he sailed into the harbor and come ashore on the Isle of Tears. Well, my grandfather's days, they were numbered, but I won't let his memory die, because he gave me the gift of this country and the look in his immigrant eye. Well, sometimes when I look in my grandfather's immigrant eye, I see that they reflected. I can't hold my feelings inside. I see starting with nothing and working hard all of his life. And don't take it for granted, say grandfather's immigrant eye. Don't you take it for granted, say grandfather's immigrant eye. Thanks so much, folks. This has been just a real honor to spend some time with you. It is healing. Music is the one thing that is, other than the love of my family, that's keeping me alive right now. I even forgot to eat dinner. But I just want to send some love to you and your families. I hope that everyone will stay safe as possible out there and take care of each other. And when this is all in the rearview mirror, we have a lot of people to mourn and a lot of celebrating to do. But in the meantime, I want to say it's a great honor of mine to have played music with this man for 20 years, my good friend Mr. Dave Keeney right here. And we're going to play one more song. We're going to play one more. This next one's going to be our encore, so, save that lighter fluid. Thanks to the ARC. Thanks to everyone who supports live music, and help out your local artists and venues and stuff, folks. It's important. This is the first song I could ever play on the guitar and sing at the same time, and I tell you, I get a kick every time I do it, and this is about the most important song I can think of off the top of my head. I had a pretty good run. 2 years ago in July, on July 14th, on the birthday of the man who wrote this song, I was playing the Woody Guthrie Folk Festival in Okeem, Oklahoma. And Woody's little sister, Mary Jo, my pal, wasn't feeling well. So she couldn't come to the festival and do her annual pancake breakfast. I'm very, very happy and honored that her niece Marie drove me the 2 hours out to Shawnee, Oklahoma, so I could spend the day singing these songs with Mary Jo. I don't bring it up to name drop because I think name dropping's pretty disgusting. You see people dropping names and they probably don't even really know the people. Called my friend Ray Wiley Hubbard up and told him about that, and he said, yeah, I don't think it's a good idea to name drop, and he called Willie Nelson and he agreed, so I don't want to do it now. I hope you'll sing along at home. I only brought up Mary Jo because she was a spitfire and she didn't take shit from anybody, and I don't think you should either. I went walking that ribbon of highway. I saw above me the endless skyway. I saw below me that golden valley. And I said this land was made for you and me. I roamed and I rambled, and I followed my footsteps through the sparkling sands of a diamond desert. And all around me a voice kept calling. It said this land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me. Kill some fascists. Roamed and I rambled, and I followed my footsteps through the sparkling sands of a diamond desert. And all around me this voice kept calling. It said this land was made for you and me. As I kept walking, I saw a sign there, and on that sign it said no trespassing. But on the other side, it didn't say nothing. That side was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, redwood forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me. by the relief office, I saw my people. They stood there hungry and I stood there asking, was this land made for you and me? Nobody living can ever stop me as I go walking life's freedom highway. Nobody living can ever make me turn back, because this land, it was made for you and me. Come on, say it, you can. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me. Remember that. Be good to each other. Big love. See you next time.